In the small village of Omuagu, gossip was not just entertainment. It was food. It was water. It was the air that people breathed. No secret ever stayed hidden for long. No story ever ended where it started. And once the market women got hold of a rumor, it could spread faster than dry season fire on the grassland. And in all their whispers, one name always returned like a bad song. Mariam, she was just 17, tall and slim like a palm tree, with skin that glowed under the sun, and eyes that carried both sadness and strength. But the villagers never saw her beauty. They never saw her heart. They only saw the shadow of her late mother's shame. When Mariam walked through the village square, children pointed at her. "That's the girl," they would giggle. "The one whose mother brought a curse." Mothers would hush their children quickly, dragging them away. Fathers would clear their throats and pretend not to notice her. And the young men, though they secretly admired her grace, would never dare approach her in daylight. To them, she was untouchable, not because she was too high above them, but because she was already too low.
They said her mother, Linda, had died in disgrace. Some claimed she was a witch who bewitched man. Others swore she was an adulteress who carried another man's child into her husband's house. No one really knew the truth, but in a village where gossip was law, lies had long become truth. And so, Mariam carried the shame, not because she had done wrong, not because she had sinned, but because the village decided that the blood of a mother's disgrace must stain the daughter's future. Every morning, Mariam fetched water from the stream. She carried her clay pot on her head, her wrapper tied firmly around her waist. The path to the stream was always full of other girls laughing, chatting, singing songs that made the journey lighter.
Would die. The girls would whisper to one another, giving her side glances and shifting their buckets away as if she carried disease. One day, she bent down at the stream to fill her pot, when a girl named Chi hissed loudly, "Let us not fetch close to her. If her mother was cursed, who knows if the curse will not enter our water?" The other girls giggled. Mariam froze, her pot halfway filled. Her chest tightened, but she forced her lips into silence. She had learned long ago that defending herself only gave them more reasons to laugh. So she stood, adjusted her pot, and walked back home with dignity, even though her heart was breaking inside. Her compound was small, just one mud hut with a thatched roof, surrounded by weeds that she cut down every week with her bare hands. She lived alone ever since her mother's death. Her father had died even earlier, when she was just a child, leaving only her mother to raise her. Sometimes, the hunger in her stomach growled louder than her thoughts. She survived by working in people's farms, weeding, harvesting, carrying loads of yam from the bush to the market square. Yet even in work, shame followed her. Some villagers paid her half of what they paid other girls. Others refused to employ her at all. "She is the daughter of that woman," they would whisper. "Do not let her touch your food. Do not let her enter your house. Her shadow brings disgrace." And still she worked. She smiled politely. She greeted the elders with respect, because that was the only way she knew how to live. But every night, when the crickets sang and the moon shone above her hut, she would lie on her raffia mat, tears soaking her pillow. She asked questions to the sky that never answered. Why must I carry shame that is not mine? Why do they punish me for what I did not do? One Sunday morning, she gathered the courage to attend church. She wore her best wrapper, the only one not torn, and tied a scarf over her braided hair. She walked into the small mud brick chapel and sat quietly at the back. The service had barely started when whispers spread like smoke. Women turned their heads, clicking their tongues. One even shifted her child away from Adi's seat. Mariam kept her head low, her hands trembling, her face burning with shame. She wanted to run. She wanted to disappear. But she stayed until the service ended, then walked out with her shoulders straight, even though her spirit was broken into pieces. That evening, as she returned from the market carrying a small basket of cassava, she passed by a group of boys sitting under the udala tree. They laughed and pointed at her. "See her, the daughter of a witch. Who will marry you? You will only bring curse into a man's house. Better go and join your mother in the grave." Their laughter echoed behind her as she walked faster, her heart pounding like drums. She reached her hut. She let herself cry. She cried until her eyes were swollen and her voice hoarse. When the tears finally slowed, she looked around her empty hut. No family, no friends, no one to defend her. Just the walls that held her secrets and the silence that swallowed her pain. And in that moment, she made a vow to herself. I will not let this shame destroy me. If they call me cursed, I will prove them wrong. If they call me a witch, I will live like a blessing. If they think I will die in disgrace, I will show them that I can rise. Her chest still ached. Her eyes still burned. But somewhere deep inside her, a small flame of courage began to flicker. The village could whisper. They could laugh. They could spit on her name. But Mariam knew one thing now. The shame she carried was not hers, and one day she would lay it down. That night, as she lay on her mat and listened to the sound of the night wind, she whispered a prayer. God, if you see me, if you know me, then give me strength, because I am tired of being the girl they hate for no reason. The moonlight touched her face through the cracks in the roof, and though she slept with tears on her cheeks, her heart carried a new strength, a strength she didn't yet understand. It was only the beginning. The story of Mariam, the girl who carried shame that wasn't hers, had just begun.